All right, today is going to require some imagination because it's very hard to be able to act these things out on a video as opposed to in the classroom. So we're going to have to use our imagination that we're actually moving these, and maybe we'll make up some story problems to help us think about it. All right, so what it's asking us to do is, how do you make that number? All right, so first of all, let's find out what that number is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the number is 5. So let's go ahead and we'll trace that number 5. There are 5 attribute buttons. And now we're going to sort those attribute buttons by color, And the first one that they have, let's do the yellow buttons first. So there's 1, 2, 3 yellow buttons. So 3, and I don't have a yellow pen, but I have orange. And then there are how many green buttons? 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2. So if I were to sort those attribute buttons, those 5 buttons, I can make a group that had 3 yellow buttons and a group that had 2 green buttons. And it would be easier to see if we could slide those and actually move some manipulatives around. You kind of have to use your imagination there. All right, that was page 281. Let's turn the page to 282. And we see another little problem here about how we're going to make a number. And it's first we have to count how many blocks there are, how many cubes there are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 cubes, and we are going to separate them by color, So let's do the orange first. So here's 1 orange, 2, 3, and 4. So we'll write that down. Like I said, if we were in person, we would be able to slide those cubes and actually make those 2 different groups. We'll just have to imagine that we're moving these around and taking out these 4. Now we're going to do the purple cubes. So we have 1, 2, 3 purple cubes. So if we were to make this number, take these 7 blocks to make the number 7, we could have a group of 4 orange and a group of 3 purple, and that would be our 7 blocks. All right, turning the page, taking a look at our blocks here. First of all, we need to count to see how many there are. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 blocks all together. Let's start out by counting the red block, because that's pretty easy. There's only 1 red block. And then we're going to count those blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if we were to move those around, we didn't add any to it. We didn't take any away. There are still 6, but we can make a group of 1, and then a group of 5 to have 6. Turn that page one more time to 284, and we are going to separate these bears into 2 different groups. We won't be taking anything away. We won't be adding anything to it. There's still going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bears when we're all done. We're just going to separate them into the 2 different colors. So I think it's easiest to see how many blue there are. There's 1 blue bear. And then you can count your green bears, and some of you may not have to count those. Your brain is so good at numbers, you can just see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 there without even counting. So there are 4 green bears. So we could take that group of 5 bears and we could separate it into a group of 1 and into a group of 4. You will be doing exactly the same thing. You're going to be doing that with these crayons. You're going to be separating that group of 4 and making it into 2 different groups that still equal 4. And the same thing on page 286. That's what you'll be doing. And when you're all done, you can upload your work to Schoology.